Hey everybody, let's do a garden tour. Today's June 1st. The garden is exploding and there's so much to show out here. So this might be a little longer video than normal, but there's a lot to show. And on these tours, I really like to go a little in depth. I don't usually go too far in depth, but I want to go in depth today. I'm really happy with a lot that's going on out here and not happy with some. So let's get into this. Okay, I think I'm going to start off with something that is just absolutely blowing my mind. Now, last month I did a video on putting cherry tomato plants in pots, and I was testing the recipe that my friend over on Next Level Gardening, Brian, uses for his pots against what I've always done for my potted tomato plants. Y'all, this is nuts. Okay, seriously, look at the growth in these two plants. Now, this plant was the one that I did the recipe from Brian's video, and this is the one where I just used my normal recipe of bone meal and blood meal. Y'all, you can't really tell. This one is just so full of tomatoes and everything. I mean, this is blowing my mind, y'all. And when we come in here, I mean, look at all the tomatoes. They are just everywhere on both these plants, honestly, but more on this plant. I think it's a no-brainer by looking at this that his recipe for potted tomato plants is the one to go with. I'll put a link to that video up right here because I go over everything with these two plants. And if you go watch that video and see the difference in, what is it, I guess maybe 6 weeks, 5 weeks, these tomato plants have just exploded. Now, I have found a couple army worms on these plants. They are not protected by basil or anything else like I usually plant around, like all of those over there. So you got to definitely be on top of it. I have not found any hornworms yet on these two plants. I have on another plant right over here, but again, there's no protection. There's no basil planted around those two cherry plants right there either. Hey, right off the bat, yes, success, success, success. I'm going to have these little cherry tomato, Roma tomatoes going nuts here pretty soon once they start ripening. Let's go ahead and move on, see what else we got. So in the last video, the working in the garden video, part 2 will be me taking care of these two, harvesting these beds right here, these potatoes. As you can see, you got a potato right there already, so there might be some good potatoes in there. We'll see. This bed hasn't done anything at all. The cilantro never took off, so I'm just letting it go to flower to bring in pollinators. I have gone ahead and planted some peppers in here. And okay, y'all, real quick, that right there is why you let cilantro go to flower. Look at that hoverfly. We want them. That is a beneficial insect that goes after aphids and all kinds of other caterpillars, things of that nature. So let your cilantro go to flower right there. That is exactly why. That is a hoverfly. Okay, these peppers have taken off. They've been in there, I think, a week, and they've probably doubled in size already, so that's a win. Coming on down, more pepper plants all through here. Definitely got some blossom end rot going right there on these monster yellow peppers. Lots of companion planting in here, basil in with all these pepper plants. And check that out, just saw it, purple beauty bell pepper. We got more monster yellows down there. Oregano's doing great down there. Great companion plant for peppers is oregano and basil. Stepping back, look at these asparagus plants. Now this is totally normal on a second year plant. This is just taking in all the energy, pushing it down into the root system, and next year I'll be able to start harvesting. These right here are the purple asparagus that I planted at the beginning of the year. So we'll have green asparagus and purple. The big thing with asparagus is you have to just absolutely be patient. It takes about 3 years before you can start harvesting. So if you're gonna plant asparagus, plant it for the long game. Make sure you plant it in an area you're dedicated to asparagus. Because once it gets established, you've got asparagus for 20, 30 years. So yeah. All right, swinging on over, y'all saw me plant these okras in that last video, and check them out. They are popping. That makes me very happy. Sweet potatoes doing really, really good. I've trimmed back a lot of the vines. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but you don't need all the vines going everywhere. What you want is the energy going into the tuber production, the sweet potato production. So I always advise cutting back the vines if you can. Swinging on down, pineapple plant, pepper plant doing okay right here. I've gotten a couple big peppers off that plant already this year. These are the asparagus beans. They are doing great. I cannot tell you how much I have harvested. That right there is another pest. That is a leaf-footed bug. Pretty much the only thing you do is soapy water them or crush them with your hands. Now I always use a gloved hand because I don't trust them. But yeah, that is a pest for sure. More pepper plants through here. These are all bell peppers, and they have, for the most part, stopped producing well, I say that, and now I'm finally seeing flowers again. Okay, well, never mind. They took about a 2-week hiatus, but now they're actually putting on flowers that I see. So awesome. But again, these asparagus beans are so good. Okay, so my surprise crop, it's not even really a crop, I guess I'd just say plant of 2024 are these gorgeous sunflowers. I mean, y'all, look at those. They are so beautiful. Man, I love those. More flowers. Got some basil back, or not basil, some rosemary back there doing great. The roses. And then for those of you that haven't seen the other video, I did find the name of this plant. And as all the leaves are falling off, it doesn't look as pretty as it usually does. But that is an evergreen wisteria plant. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. That part of the garden, for the most part, is all great. Now we're gonna get into this back line of the garden where I've got issues, for sure. All right, y'all, starting right here, zucchini plants. Haven't done anything at all. They're growing. It's a lot of green, so it looks pretty out here. Not doing anything. Right next to it are these crazy, supposed to be squashes from Guatemala that I've been showing on some shorts because of those thorns all over these plants and even underneath on the leaves. Look at all those thorns, y'all. This plant is without a doubt ready for the apocalypse. Like, it will protect itself. But having said that, neither one of these two plants have done anything. No female flowers at all. They've all been male flowers, and they're about to come out, to be totally honest. Swinging down the onions that I planted, well, it's actually producing. Huh. Okay, never mind. Disregard what I was about to say. They're doing good. Lots of basil, but if y'all remember in February or March, I planted this yellow pear tomato plant out here. Yeah, it's completely dead, y'all. And there's another tomato plant back in there underneath all these cucumbers, and it's dead. Now I know, before y'all say I'm supposed to plant cucumbers next to tomatoes. Well, now I know. Now I know for real that's for real. And it is what it is. I'm not tripping, but that is a little sad. I was hoping for a lot of good little cherry tomatoes, but hey, you live and you learn. Let's keep going. All right, we got these dill plants that I have all over the garden, and I've had so many swallowtail butterfly caterpillars just going to town on the dill. My advice is if you plant dill, plant some that you are not upset with losing to the swallowtail caterpillars, because they become those beautiful, beautiful butterflies. And for me, when I see them out here, I just get happy. Very, very happy. So I always plant dill for me and for them. Cucumbers, again, you know, they've been putting on small cucumbers like that. I have not got any big cucumbers off of here at all yet. I'm a little disappointed. Zucchini plants right here, I've got one zucchini so far this year, and they are doing nothing, like at all. But these tomatillo plants are doing fantastic. I mean, look, there are so many fruits in there, and I've already harvested quite a few, so they are doing great. Definitely not complaining about them. And then here's the update for the Japanese 2-foot-long carrots. They're doing good. All right, so check it out. They are up well outside of those PVC pipes, doing really, really good. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. They took forever to get going, but once the heat popped up just a little bit, they started shooting up. So I'm very pleased right there. Very, very, very pleased. I'm excited, hoping for a great harvest. That'll be a fun video to show everybody. And I already have an idea of how I want to do this again in the fall. Okay, in the last video, I planted garlic in here. Now, it's too early for the garlic to have popped. That was only 4 or 5 days ago, but they will pop. Now, if you're asking what all these carrots are doing, I'm leaving them alone. If I want some carrots, I'll come harvest. If not, I'm gonna let them go to flower. They will bring in beneficials and all that. Do really good. Moved a super hot plant over here. It hasn't produced any flowers yet, but I think it will pretty soon. That is a 7-pot hot pepper. These are these dwarf okras that I planted a couple weeks ago. You can see how good they're doing. Very pleased right there. This next section, and I just saw, y'all, I'm so excited. Like, so excited. This next part of the garden, I did something back in January that is 100% the cause for how good this garden looks. That video will be coming out soon. Didn't know I had that popped out. That video will be coming out very, very soon. But check this out. All right, watermelons, and look at that one. The first one of the year, right there. Love it. That should be a silver watermelon, unless I've tracked the vines wrong, but that's what that watermelon should be. But look at that thing just hanging there. And y'all, that thing is doubling in size almost every day. So cool, so cool. I cannot wait for that to grow. And I'm sure there's other ones back in here that I just haven't got in there to really check yet. Now, I planted 4 different types of watermelons through here. Basil plant's doing really good, doing its thing. And then these are all cantaloupes over here. If you followed this channel for any amount of time, you know I always plant cantaloupes for my neighbors because they love them. So I'm hoping this year I won't lose the cantaloupes like I did last year, which I'm showing right here. That was so upsetting, y'all. Not gonna lie. All right, beautiful hydrangea back there. Just absolutely gorgeous. My roses that I have to come in here and trim again because they are, I don't like how that looks. More dill. Told y'all I have lots and lots of dill. Oh, look at that. Got tomatoes I need to harvest right there. This is just a cherry tomato, nothing special, but look at that, ready. Those will be the first tomatoes off of that plant this year. Some beautiful lantanas. Little drinking thing for the bees, as I have a wasp fly by my hand. Swinging over here, this bed, these peppers are looking a little, I need to come in here with some fertilizer, do some amending right there. Coming on down, look at all these jalapenos. This bed right here, y'all, is doing so good. So many peppers I've already taken out of here. I mean, there's another one right there. Just doing really well. Another pepper right back in there. Yeah, I definitely cannot complain for part of what I've just showed y'all. But them squash and zucchinis, and actually the cucumbers, just not making me happy. Stealing a little bit of my joy. Okay, now we're about to go back this way into the part of the garden that is basically the heart of the garden. Well, no, because that section is part of it too. But the rest of this video, y'all, so much to show. And let's start right here with these blackberry bushes. Y'all, it's only 2 bushes. And look at all of the fruit. I have taken and harvested so many blackberries in the last week and a half. It is crazy. I mean, seriously. So doing so well. And then right below it I put in peppers, which you can't really see with all the weeds, but that's all right. We got peppers growing over there. You got these beautiful, now I just harvested these yesterday, so that's why there's not many on here. These beautiful peppers right here, I'll put the name of up. It's basil. Again, one thing you will notice always in my gardens are all the companion planting. Companion planting is rampant out here on purpose. That is doing okay, not gonna complain. I am gonna have to put up a shade cloth pretty soon. The heat starting to really come in. The evening sun is gonna just cook this bed to no end. So shade cloth will be coming up very soon. Now the tomato bed, the indeterminate tomato bed. And as you can see right off the bat, that tomato will be ready here in a few more days. That is the single seed challenge restart plant right there. I think these basil plants just keep blocking the sun out from them, from the single seed challenge plant, but I'm just letting it go. I'm gonna see what it does. Some beautiful cosmos right here, another companion plant, some thyme right beside it. So we're gonna swing around this way. Another tomato that I need to harvest right there. These are all doing really well. There's really nothing for me to complain about. A hillbilly tomato right there. Like I said, basil, basil, basil. Look at that beautiful tomato. And then back in there, these are little peach tomatoes. And they are such a beautiful, beautiful tomato. Look at that coloring. Gorgeous. Hope that showed up on there. Coming on down, now check these out. And something got in here. I waited one day too long and a bird got to that one. So these are about to get harvested literally right now. Those are a solar flare tomato. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tomato. Like, y'all, makes me so happy. What's funny is last night I was like, man, I should harvest these. No, I'll do one more day. Doggone bird. Is what it is. That was my fault. On around the corner, these are supposed to be a white tomato. Can't wait to see those ripe. More tomatoes down there. So y'all, I'm doing great with tomatoes. I'm not gonna lie. There's that peach, that orange peach tomato I was just showing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then of course we got a bumblebee. That always makes me happy. And then right beside it, we've got the honeybees out here pollinating these basil plants. Bringing in all the beneficials, y'all. That is the whole reason you plant all these flowers, you let all these herbs go to flower, is for that reason right there. You bring in the pollinators, and when you bring in the pollinators, you bring in the beneficial insects also. All right, let's switch over here to the eggplant bed. I have so much going on in this bed right now. Just makes me smile. So the first eggplants of the year, right here, the purple long eggplants, doing great. Doing great. We've got a Casper eggplant right there, just a white eggplant. Everything in this bed is doing fantastic. Got some fish peppers right there. So beautiful. I love the coloration on the leaves, on the pepper. Just awesome. Then yesterday I saw this eggplant that I'll put the name of up right here. Check this out. And just since yesterday, this thing has doubled. Literally. Check out that eggplant right there, y'all. Love it. Love it. Just eggplants galore all through here. Everywhere. And again, like I've been showing, dill is everywhere. I always like to have as much companion planting as possible. As we come over here, these are the tomato plants for the hashtag Tomato Challenge 2024. See how tall they are? But here's the thing, y'all. They're putting on flowers like that. Or like that. Let me pollinate. But neither one of these plants yet has put on a single tomato, which is kind of worrying me, considering this is a challenge. Now, to be totally honest, 2 days ago I texted Brian. I'm like, hey man, if you just grow one tomato, you're probably going to win this challenge, because these plants are not putting on any fruit at all. They just keep putting on flowers. They're not putting on tomatoes. The flowers aren't pollinating. It's not too hot yet to where that should be an issue, but we'll see, y'all. I might win. I might lose just because I can't get one tomato to grow on these two plants. Now I've got beefsteaks over there, like the ones I just showed you, but those aren't the challenge plants. These are the two challenge plants. So we'll see. Team Chad might go down. Is what it is. But I'm trying, believe me. All right, over here on this other side, we got Carolina Reaper plants right here, putting on flowers. No fruit yet. Let me pollinate them by shaking them. Got a chocolate Reaper plant right here. Still no fruit, not even flowers on that one. And then all through here we have peppers. Doing good right here. These are finally starting to kind of take off. That is the experiment that I did with the bell pepper, and I'm going to transplant that into that bed here later today. But they are doing really good, and I'm shocked. Because remember, I wrote that experiment off. But I just didn't wait long enough. Again, lesson learned. Is what it is. The beautiful fairy garden that my daughter and I put together last week definitely makes me happy to finally have that thing looking decent, unlike how it had been looking. And the fact that she came out and helped me with it was just an added bonus. Totally. Now, we're almost done, but we still got a lot over on this side of the garden. So here we go. Lots of marigolds, but right behind them are those beans. Those are the Chinese long noodle beans right there. They're starting to come up. And before you know it, we'll have a bunch of these type of beans that are red hanging right here. Totally filling up this entire section. Now these, if y'all haven't been watching, these are the Taiwanese yard-long beans. About the size you want to harvest them right there. A little smaller than a pencil. You can go a little bigger, but for these, I've found this is about the size I like right here. You can see the beautiful flowers that they put on. Coming on down, we've got these Indian snake cucumbers that I've harvested so many from already. Like there's another one right there. Look at that thing. There's a good sized one that I hadn't even seen right there. Small fruits growing. All right, container garden, it's doing good. See up here, we've got lemons and limes going. We got figs, like right in here, right in here. My oldest fig tree fell over from one of the storms. And y'all, that container you can see down there is so brittle because it's so old. I've just set it there, kept watering it, and I have to get that thing transplanted. This is one thing I haven't mentioned with in regards to container gardening is over time, you gotta change out those containers. They do get brittle, especially in this heat. It just cooks them really bad. Okay, beans that we planted a couple weeks ago, and then the new, those are those black turtle beans right here that I'm putting up on the screen. Those are popping up really good. Dragon tongue beans are still doing pretty decent. I have gotten a lot of harvests out of those beans, but I might pull them and replant them. Haven't decided. The Kahari melon vines are finally starting to take off and put on size. That makes me happy because before long it should have actually Kahari melons. The Armenian yard-long cucumber vines are also doing the same thing. They're starting to put on size, but nothing like these rampant Cotty zucchinis. I mean, look at these vines, y'all. Doing so good. And there is the second rampant Cotty of the year. I harvested the first one that was hanging right here the other day, and it was 17.5 inches long and so doggone good, y'all. This is a great zucchini that is pest resistant. I got these seeds from Baker Creek, and I absolutely highly recommend, if you all like zucchini, planting these and just letting them do their thing. But for sure, you have to have a trellis, no doubt. More peppers in here, doing good. Oh, I have peppers everywhere. I've harvested a lot, so there's not a ton to show from the peppers. More basils in here, helping. These right here, I just transplanted. These little ones, these are habanadas, so it's a habanero without the heat, but with the same flavor. Peppers right over there. We got super hots right in here, and I actually have my very first ever ghost peppers growing. Those I'm so excited to be growing those. I'm keeping it real, I'm not eating them. I'm gonna give them away. But just having the ability to grow them just makes me so happy to finally be growing them. All right, we actually have real habaneros right here. Both of these are red habanero plants. And then right over here, these two plants, which you can see the fruit right there, are just the regular habaneros. Some Hungarian wax peppers. Spinning around, the last little bit that we have here are just more of the shishitos that are all over the place. I harvested all the cayenne peppers that were on this plant. More little peppers up here. All right, y'all, that's the garden tour for June 1st, 2024. I have literally nothing to complain about. If I was going to complain about anything, it's obviously those zucchinis and squash plants and all that, cucumbers. But honestly, I don't have much to complain about. The heat's starting to come on, so all the heat-loving crops are about to start really taking off, and I'm about to have to start pulling stuff to start planting more heat-loving stuff like beans and okra. I love to plant okra, y'all. All right, everybody, if y'all enjoyed this video, as always, do me a favor, share the video, like the video, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. Just hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell so you're always notified whenever I upload videos. Everyone take care, God bless, continue to shine bright and harvest hard. Get in your gardens, get stuff going. Just enjoy the process, because there's nothing about gardening that I hate. Well, let me change that. I hate pests, but they're inevitable. They're just part of gardening. But other than them, everything else I love. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all again real soon. Bye. Okay, seriously, y'all, look at these tomatoes. Definitely live up to their name, Solar Flare. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous tomatoes. But I want to see what they look like when I slice them. Let's go do that. All right, let's see how good these look on the inside. All right, we're gonna see together. Here we go. Oh yes. Y'all, that is a win. Solar Flare tomatoes by Baker Creek. And the juice is just dripping down my hand. Love it.